Howdy, howdy, and welcome to another wonderful trash take. Today, I wanted to go over an article I read that was actually pretty good. I say read, I started reading and then decided, you know what, I want to make a video on it. It's an article by PirateWire's. It's mainly talking about how Reddit is basically a terrorist propaganda pipeline. It goes over the fact that there's a bunch of mods that are mods for multiple subreddits and how they all create and basically funnel mods into certain places of power and then start implementing their power and enforcing rules incorrectly. And this is mainly coming out of the H3 Snark subreddit. I think Ethan Klein is suing either Reddit or some Redditors specifically over like, I don't even know if it's, I think some hate speech, some blatant false information, but basically there's a lot of Reddit drama going on with some subredditors that were making like death threats and accusations and then like would purposely get their people spurred up and send them toward people that worked with Ethan Klein. Ethan finally had enough of it. And basically it results in the H3 Snark subreddit shutting down, which was ironic because I think there was a Hassan Snark Reddit. It was like the whole concept of a Reddit that's basically meant to harass a streamer, which harassment's not allowed on Reddit. It's like a full ban everywhere on the platform. So Ethan, in response to the H3 Snark Reddit, made his own something snark, and it got taken down almost immediately. So Ethan, I believe, sued Reddit because he believes that there are some actual people at the Reddit company, some super admins, super moderators, basically, that were actually in on the H3 Snark Reddit, which is why it never got taken down. But if y'all haven't been seeing that, it was a bunch of Twitter drama that's been going on over the past week. Ethan basically was coming out saying that Reddit has some really bad issues here. And then now I'm seeing another article coming from this group, PirateWire's, and they're breaking it down more. So I want to just read over it and then talk about it, basically. So yeah, without further ado, here we go. So for those of you who don't know anything about Reddit, Reddit's basically a big platform that has a bunch of different information on it and has a bunch of different subreddits attached to it. And they can be anything from games to tech to politics to pics to car crash compilations. It's basically just free form, but the subreddits are meant to kind of give you an idea of what to expect. So anyone can really make a subreddit and anyone can really be mods for it. But what's been happening on Reddit is there's a bunch of large subreddits that have millions upon millions of users active daily that basically are moderating for the same subreddits. So you have a bunch of mods that have consolidated a bunch of power together, and whatever their political bias may be, they're enforcing it across the board. You saw this on our picks when Elon Musk was on stage and he threw his hand up for a split second. They called him a Nazi. And then anyone posting repics of any other politician doing that same pose and calling them a Nazi was immediately taken down and banned from the subreddit. It's a clear double standard that the mods were enforcing their political bias. If you disagree with it, I don't care. You're stupid. Not the point. So going over this, it's now tourism. The digital propaganda will play a central role in the wars of the 21st century. True, propaganda always plays a role in every war. What's less understood is the extent of which has already happened here. Amid the din about TikTok's ties to Beijing, little attention is paid to terrorist groups funded by Iran and Qatar, linked to extraordinary effective propaganda networks in the span of every major social media and information platform. True. Wasn't it the Taliban that like caused some YouTube adpocalypse due to beheading videos on YouTube? I believe that happens. Basically, everyone knows social media is a tool and everyone tries to tap into it. That's pretty basic. Since October 7th, an online network has emerged that directly contests source from U.S.-designated Islamic terrorist organizations, including Hamas, Hezbollah, Palestinian Islamic Regime, and the Houthi movement. Across Reddit, Discord, X, TikTok, Instagram, Qatar, and Wikipedia. Very true. Very true. You never see anyone working overtime like a Wikipedia mod absolutely redacting every piece of information because they found some untrustworthy source and decide that this will be the new source that we set our standards to and changing all the histories of the Palestine conflict. Me personally, I don't want America's influence over there much anymore. It was our money that probably got the terrorists flying over the wall to kill the people in Israel, and then it's our money that Israel is using to send missiles back over to blow up the people in Palestine. It's a pretty fucked up situation either way. But there's been a really big push on leftist social media that Palestinians and Hamas are innocent, they do nothing wrong, and everyone who is coming out against them is a genocider and racist, anti-Muslim. Like, they use the same sort of vulgar language. They'll call you a Nazi. Like, it's petty insults because there's no real argument to the conflict. I want the conflict to end. I'm kind of glad Trump stepped in and has it settled for now. I know the hostage exchange just went down, but I'll be curious to see how long that actually lasts. I don't imagine that will last long. We will see. Basically, the network works with its awareness to manipulate and eventually flows downstream. It gets baked into universal platforms like Google Search and ChatGPT. Yes, if enough people spread enough misinformation, the misinformation will start citing itself, and you have a loophole of misinformation. A definition that by itself uses the word in its definition is not really a good definition in my book, and that's what happens a lot here. They cite each other and they cite themselves, and then eventually, if you try to pull the string further, you'll notice a circle. Shouldn't be like that with information. You should be able to go straight to the point and pull it up. The central locus of the network of a 270,000 member subreddit called R Palestine. A Discord server which is the same function command and control the Palestinian network is promoted prominently on the subreddit. On the Discord, whose new members must undergo an ideological purity test. Yeah, they want to make sure they don't have any people infiltrating their cause. These are like online Marxists, communists that are unemployed fat retards that basically just sit on the internet all day long, like me. They spend their entire time basically pushing an ideology for some future world, I guess. It depends. They all have their own ideology, but they all come together and they make sure everyone's the same because it's the party of peace, love, and tolerance. Until you disagree, then you're the enemy and I can say or do anything I want to you. A Reddit task force. Let's see. Pure Task consists to give their views on Israel Zionism on October 7th. A Reddit task force channel coordinates posting to Reddit, identifying comment sections that need more pro-Palestinian commentary, mass upvoting anti-Israel posts, and downvoting pro posts. Oh, artificial astroturfing popularity. Yeah, you see this on Twitter a lot. When Elon took over Twitter, a bunch of those lefty accounts got nuked out of existence because they were basically bot farms, all liking and reposting the same shit. And it's happening still now. There's a lot of like really big leftist tweets that keep coming out that have thousands of likes and like no comments, no retweets. Like it's pretty obvious that these are being manipulated somehow. There's no real or inorganic exposure or interaction with these posts. And it's happening more and more now, which is kind of crazy because it hadn't been for a while now, but I guess Elon's losing his grip on Twitter. But yeah, I guess this is just diving into their platform and showing how they're telling people to attack Reddit Task Force, Core Task Force. Yeah, they're basically organizing misinformation. They are organizing misinformation to push an agenda. On Reddit, the network consists of no fewer than 110 subreddits controlled by around 30 core moderators. Apart from the network and its central subreddits, including R Palestine, Israel Crimes, and the Apartheid Israel, are topically relevant and built around overlapping ideologies that include anti-Zionism, anti-capitalism, radical Marxism, Islamism, and an anti-Western pipeline. Yeah, it's like the Hassan pipeline, where basically Hassan comes in and he tries to convince these people to go do all these other things, or Hassan goes into different people's Twitch streams and tries to convince their chatters by playing radical terrorist videos while he goes to the bathroom. That shit's pretty obvious, and it's disgusting that he never got banned on Twitch for that multiple times. Hassan's the absolute king of this, basically. Other core subreddits in this network include Panrab, r Fight Disinformation, r Global. Yeah, Fight Disinformation, bro. That is fucking ironic considering they're creating misinformation, upvoting it. Global News Hub and Suppressed News. Yeah, so they're trying to act like they're the underdogs when reality is they are not. Are artificially messing with interactions to get it trending on Reddit is kind of fucking hilarious, but I mean, it's bot farms. They do that all the time. But it's a cluster of million-member-strong subreddits infiltrated and now controlled by networks that have nothing to do with the Middle East, or even the politics generally, that the R Palestine network is particularly effective and illustrates an extraordinary degree of unambiguous astroturfing meant to convince unsuspecting users that there's a widespread anti-Israel, anti-Western Marxist movement online. These include, but aren't limited to, R Documentaries, 20 million members, R There Was an Attempt 7.2, R Public Freakout, FOMO, and Am I a Total Piece of Shit? Yeah, so a bunch of these subreddits will post things that align with their political ideology, even though they have no reason to be on this subreddit and they don't get taken down, they get upvoted like crazy. Like I said, with the R pics and the Elon Musk doing the hand and everyone else posting the exact same thing of other politicians doing the hand. And I know there's going to be some Reddit retards calling me a Nazi sympathizer in the chat. Go fuck yourself. You guys absolutely ruined what the word Nazi means, so thank you for being retarded. The network leverages command and control mechanics, radicalizing messaging and decentralizing tactics by exploiting the openness and freedom afforded by these platforms, as well as vulnerabilities in platforms' trust and safety operations, which have been largely outsourced by Udespace rather than trade moderators. Yeah, Reddit outsources its Reddit mods to the crowd, basically. Anyone can be a Reddit mod. Just create a Reddit, a subreddit, and you basically can assign your sub mods as you want. Like I said, there's a bunch of subreddits, like all the popular ones are controlled by a group of like 40 mods, basically the same thing that they're doing here, where they are mods in all these subreddits, and they keep whatever political ideology enforced all across the board. Like I said, it is mainly leftist ideology. Reddit has become a leftist echo chamber. Like a lot of the niche subreddits that are pretty small but are decent for information, even those can be affected. Look at all the ones that are banning Twitter links. They're all doing the same thing at the same time. That's kind of wild. I wonder who's promoting that. I wonder who's telling them to do that. Oh, look, we have a network of people on a Discord saying that. Oh, shit, who could have guessed? The network leverages command controls. Yeah. But they also use Reddit and Wikipedia's unique status in relation to search engines and LLMS to spread the propaganda orders of further magnitude. Yeah. Data poisoning, LLMS, and search. Last year, Reddit and Google signed a $60 million contract licensing deal giving Google access to Reddit's API and LLM for its training purposes on its AI. OpenAI announced a similar partnership last May. Google has this, yeah. Yeah, back on the point. If you notice up above how it was talking about all these information platforms, Quora, Wikipedia, TikTok, Reddit, X, these are all a bunch of information platforms. When you commonly search, say anything, they'll come up at the top results. Like if you Google any problems you have or Google any questions, they'll basically be the ones to answer. Like when you can see this all the time when you actually have any real questions, like how, let's see. Yeah, we can start off with this Elon Musk and influencer core props up. Like even with like Wikipedia too. Like when you Google certain things, they are at the top of the platform because they are information. It's supposed to be completely unbiased. But these people are purposely trying to introduce bias to throw off the search engine to put whatever message they want and to come across by the unfortunate reader that isn't fact checking. When you read this at first glance, it's true. And I mean, Kamala Harris, as far as I understand, she's half Indian, half black. And her mother was from her mother was from India. Sometimes it's right, sometimes it's wrong. In this case, it's right. But there are times when you Google certain things about the Palestinian conflict where it'll be completely off or wrong because they're putting their political bias in place. I'm not giving an example of that. I genuinely don't care about that example. I just want to show what it means by using all these platforms and how they're trying to manipulate an algorithm. ChatGPT crawls open. A similar phenomenon is at work at search engines, namely Google, who frequently ranks Reddit's posts as the first results on topic searches, something our Palestine network has reversed engineered to its benefit. If you Google hostages collage in reference to a grid photos, it is photos of Israeli hostages held by Hamas. As a top result, when viewed the item, it was placed above the page from hostages and missing families where users can download a collage. Simple test. Has anyone noticed duplicate images in the hostages collage shown by the Israel at... Yeah, that makes sense. So opposed to actually showing the pictures, our Palestine has a bunch of posts that have been more popular that Google's now promoting instead due to the interaction. So people will come here, they'll search this, and Google will see when you search this where you click and train its algorithm to, hey, this looks like it's more relevant to this search category. So it puts it on top opposed to an actual, like if you want to see the collage of them missing, it's here. Makes sense. Missing families where users can download a collage. Has anyone noticed a duplicate image of the hostages at Ra's top Google? Google prominently features misinformation from platforms too. Information on the Wikipedia can be found at the top of billions of searches per year, despite its articles being heavily poisoned by bad actors. And YouTube frequently uses Wikipedia as the grounds for truth and context. Yes, YouTube will add certain things, will add certain captions on YouTube videos. Like if you were doing the election or you bring up Donald Trump or you talk about certain events, it will add context under it. It's mainly for big YouTubers and try to fight misinformation. But if they're using a platform like Wikipedia to fight their misinformation and Wikipedia is using misinformation as well, you lose all hope. This is what happens when people bring their own political bias into fucking everything, and it's everywhere in the world now, and I absolutely just hate it. I just made a video about the Germany judge that basically worked for an activist group that tried to give complete access to all of Twitter's users' personal lifetime data to some random leftist activist group in Germany. It is fucking crazy how activism has become such a part of that world where everyone that speaks leaves and everyone that has a job literally prioritizes their personal activism above their duty, above their job. This on its own is highly problematic and can be reasonably dismissed as an unintended consequence of legitimate free expression, true, and benign mechanics of LLM training and search algorithms. What changes the equation, however, is at its core, it's a network designed to covertly spreading propaganda, true, by U.S. designated terror groups. And this is exactly what the Our Palestine Network often does. It sources content to put Reddit on the vote brigades from propaganda aggravators like the Resistance News Network. The biggest piece of this that I saw, that I believe this for, basically, was the missile that exploded at a hospital where they try to say Israel bombed a hospital. And turns out it was Hamas trying to fire a rocket, and the rocket didn't go nearly as high, and it blew up a hospital. But everyone was screaming on Reddit. And you had videos of people that were like Hassan, all of a sudden like, listen to this. This sounds like a missile exploding. This sounds like the Israelis just bombed a hospital. No, it was Hamas. But every social media platform was posting the same propaganda, the same uneducated opinion. And if you Googled it, it all said Israel did it. So it took a few days for the news networks to actually reverse that and pull back the truth. Because it wasn't the truth. It was a blatant lie. And it was more blatant than everything else they'd done. And it was easily disproved, too, after a few days. They were able to prove where the missile came from, and it did not come from Israel. But, you know, if you can manipulate a platform in real time, you can sway the public opinion. And that's what they're trying to do. How the Resistance News Network launders terrorist propaganda. I mean, I mean, like Hassan, Hamas's strongest warrior, the Houthis' strongest warrior, bringing actual terrorists on stream and then glazing the fuck out of them, calling a kid that openly says "death to the Jews," "death to Israel." Luffy, Luffy from One Piece. Yeah, it's really fucking cool, Hassan. Screenshots I obtained seem to indicate that the RN pulls content from its color-coded list of Telegram channels run by U.S. designated foreign terror organization headquarters across the Middle East. And then they translate it and repost it to get around the U.S. terror laws. The terrorists can't post it, so the terrorists bring regular civilians to violate the law because the terrorists all have their IP addresses probably blocked already. So they use Telegram, a very heavily encrypted app, to bring it into here, and then they repost it on Reddit. Holy shit, that's fucking hilarious. One of the sole distributor of content produced by foreign terror groups, RNN is the main one. It aggregates and it distributes content from U.S. designated groups in Israel, Palestine, including Hamas that launched the October 7 attacks. Yeah, don't y'all remember the Black Lives Matter people posting "We stand with Palestine" on the October 7th attacks? There was some big ass Facebook Black Lives Matter account that posted a picture of a paraglider and then the Black Lives Matter fist. And everyone's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? That attack killed a lot of innocent people. It was fucking wild to see that. And then they deleted it a few days later after public backlash. That's probably the same thing. They get on here, they see all their people posting misinformation, and they run. And during which its militants deliberately killed children, and for which Human Rights Watch was accused of its war crimes. Palestinian Islamic Jihadists, which participated in the October 7th attack alongside Hamas, and known to its indiscriminate rocket fire targeting civilian areas in Israel. Yeah, on October 7th, there's also GoPro footage of them walking around the backyards in some Israeli place, shooting at all the houses, shooting at any window they can, shooting at anybody that moved before they got dropped by some guy a few houses down. Urban warfare is fucking terrifying. But I saw that GoPro footage on there, and I was like, damn, these are the good guys? They're just walking around killing everyone willy-nilly? That's kind of wild. It's kind of crazy. Also participated in the October... where was I? Indiscriminate rocket fire. Someone brigades armed the wing of the Popular Front and the Liberation of Palestine, PFLP, which also participated in the October 7th attacks, and many more. In Iraq, RNN pulls from dozens of channels, including the Ketab Hezbollah, which is engaged in a sustained campaign of rockets and drone attacks against U.S. assets, and Scream of Al-Qaeda brigades, which is a part of Islamic resistance in Iraq and Yemen. RNN aggregates at least 6 channels of a major terror group. Wow. So this resistance news network literally just has direct access to terrorist groups on there. That's really cool. That's really cool. I really think FBI is about to fucking destroy a bunch of these subreddits. They were already doing death threats on Elon Musk and Doge, but now they're actually just having direct links to terrorism. That's fucking hilarious. This is one example of its content aggregation. RNN published an English translation to the battlefield message from Hamas al-Qassam brigades on the military wing of Hamas, and it's played a leading role in October 7th. Which our fighters in the West Bank are engaged in fierce clashes with enemy soldiers using automatic weapons near the city's main street. In another instance, RNN translated a public post on the Al-Aqsa Martyrs Brigade, which participated in the October 7th attacks and designated as a terrorist organization by the US, the EU, Canada, Japan, New Zealand, and Israel due to its involvement in suicide bombing. Oh no, the Martyrs are suicide bombing? Who would have fucking guessed? Shootings and rocket attacks targeting Israeli civilians. We are engaged in fierce clashes with the Zionist enemy, storming the city with machine gun. RNN has a particularly tight relationship with blah, which is the U.S. government classifies as a terrorist entity, with the Treasury Department calling it a sham charity that serves the international fundraiser of the PFLP. After RNN's Telegram was banned in the EU last August, blah was instrumental in helping them reconstitute, publishing statements on behalf of RNN and directing users to the group's mirror channel. They're just like openly supporting terrorism here. They're not even trying to hide it. Holy shit. The terrorist propaganda to Reddit pipeline. On Reddit, a terror group propaganda activated by the RNN is able to tunnel under the walled gardens of Telegram and into the groundwater of the public debate. In one case, a user in R exposed Israel with 6,800 members, a subreddit controlled by the R Palestine network, posted a quote about the alleged detention of a Palestinian boy under the title, "Israeli soldiers abduct and beat child." The post was a direct quote from the RNN, which was cited as the source. The same text and video was also posted by Israeli Crimes, is also a controlled network. While the content of the clip can be interpreted in different ways, the post is one of the many examples how that funnels the content out. Yeah, true. They have a bunch of these subreddits that are basically all anti-Israel, so when they can find a content that is anti-Israel, they slam it on all the subreddits for them all to see. Just in case you don't cross over, you're going to get the same content either way. You got to get propagandized the same, buddy. In the r/TrueAnon subreddit with 66,000 members, also controlled by the group, a user posted a screen grab of a message from the head of the Houthis group in the Telegram channel. I call on America to send more MQ-9 drones as Yemen air defenses enjoy grilling them. They're just actually posting terrorist propaganda pieces on Reddit. That's fucking hilarious, dude. That is fucking hilarious. And there we are until liberated. Wow. So they just like they're just directly in these groups and occasionally just post live messages. That's fucking wild. In a world of darkness, Yemen is a shining beacon. What the fuck? Peter Griffin Yao. Yeah, that sounds about right. That dude's mentally fucking ill. The activity coordinated by the network is not restricted to posting content online. In fact, the network frequently promotes and demonstrates rallies organized by U.S. designated terror groups on Reddit. In December, after Blah was designated a terror entity, an account tied to the network posted an image from the rally organized by Blah in Brazil with the title of Free Palestine, with the caption, "Today in Sao Paulo, Brazil." And a post like this would normally be an ambiguous example of free expression if it weren't for the fact that the blank is an organized organization for PFLP designated to fundraise from a Western audience. Yeah, so it's all tying back together of propaganda being played out to try to bring more people to fight for the cause. Yeah, I could see that. They're making direct claims of A plus B equals C, D plus E equals C, A plus B equals D plus E. This is pretty straightforward. Direct sources from the content and demonstrations and posted on the New York City and demonstrations in New York City in the r/Palestine post. The promotion of content from foreign terror organizations on Reddit, including top moderators, raises serious legal concerns. It does. Reddit is a US-based company that is making ad revenue off allowing terrorism to go unfiltered on their platform and death threats and radical ideologies. And I say radical because most of these people are calling for death to Israel, death to Zionists, and they don't really seem to distinguish the difference between the word Zionist and Jew. If you don't believe me, go look at Ethan Klein. They call him the fucking Zionist all the time, and he was a very big critic of Netanyahu, but he still got called a Zionist all the same. Reddit's fucking crazy. I was told senior Reddit trust and safety team members, includes the VP data staff, they openly laughed at the issues they raised. Wait, what? This poses a major risk to Reddit. Despite this, sources with direct knowledge of Reddit told me Reddit's trust and safety executives have repeatedly failed to address this issue adequately, even though they're aware of it. These sources told me that dozens of attempts to alter the company about the pipeline were systematically ignored and sidelined. So this is the higher ups are also sympathetic to the cause, basically. We have the power. We are in these positions of power to ignore this. We will let the propaganda flow because we like what the propaganda says. Yeah, sounds about right. How the network operates. The backbone of r/Palestine is a network in a group of moderators who controls the dozens of overlapping subreddits, with the r/Palestine as the central hub. These users co-moderate a core group of ideological subreddits like r/Israel Crimes, r/Palestinian News, and r/The Apartheid Israel, where the content is dedicated to the extensive and sustained anti-Israel messaging. The moderation network is key. Since Reddit mods hold a sweeping authority over the communities, true, they'll ban you for any reason, even though you don't violate rules, and they'll tell you to go fuck yourself. They do it all the time. Go look at this account right here, Reddit Lies, has done a pretty decent job of showing all the different shit that Reddit has going on, of all the different shit that Redditors do. Yeah, so the reason why I like this account is because it actually calls out Reddit on its double standard. Sometimes it posts some misinformation or some missing context on some things, but then other time it posts this, how you get banned on Reddit for being a conservative. If you comment in r/conservative, you get automatically banned from r/justice serve. It's like with Asmongold subreddit. The Asmongold subreddit, I believe if you had commented, liked, or done anything on the Asmongold subreddit, a bot went through, pulled all the users, and automatically banned you from the Dragon Age Veilguard subreddit. It's wokeism. It's activism. They don't care about your opinion. They want you censored so you can't even try to convince people that they're wrong. They don't want you at the table. They want you to sit there and listen to them. That's completely different. They don't want you to be able to sit there and have a conversation. They want you to sit there and listen because they know what's right for you because they're the Reddit mod. What does it take to be a Reddit mod? Have no job, be 300 pounds, and be fucking retarded. That's all you need to be a Reddit mod, boys. The backbone of r/Palestine is a network group moderators. Yeah, I already read that. Moderation network is key since Reddit mods hold sweeping power over authorities over the community, ability to remove posts, ban users, and dictate discussion rules, which they'll change on demand and allow hate if it's within their limelight, and control visibility through pinned posts and automation filters. These can shape narratives by approving or suppressing content, restricting participation with the account age and karma requirements, true as well, and preemptively censoring topics using automod. Yep. They do that all the time. Automod is their best friend because I don't know who set it up, but it's always retarded. Ban you for basically posting anything that ban you for posting buzzwords, ban you for being on different subreddits that they don't like, ban you for whatever reason they feel like. And there's no real way to appeal any of these. You get banned from the network for even existing. Pretty cool. Most of the network's influence lies in the popular subreddits that normally have nothing to do with Israel. For example, Blah is a highly influential member of the network previously mentioned. Moderators, typically relevant subreddits like all these other subreddits. So this Reddit, even though you're not a part of it, all the moderators are in this Reddit too. So basically your influence from here is reaching to these as well. Also moderates documentaries, There Was a Tense, Public Freakout, IRL Easter eggs, Toilet Paper USA. That's actually very cool, and boring dystopia. So this is what I mean by Reddit is full of propaganda people. Like I said with the r/mildly interesting, it's the same sort of thing where you have political activists who are radical extremism, but they're also part of the regular subreddits too. And it's not like they leave their radical extremism at the door. They bring it with them. That's the whole point of this, is showing how terrorists are literally bringing their bias to these other subreddits too. So when you see something pop up in public freakouts and it's like some lady screaming about how Hamas is killing people and they're making fun of her, you can almost guarantee it's an AstroTurf post. The network includes moderators like Blueberry Bubbly Buzz, who operates another account on the network called Quantplan, oh you know, blah, 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 and dozens others who also moderate the Palestinian Discord. Clustering together as mods gives them effective control over some of the biggest subreddits on the site. Yeah, friends of friends. So there was an attempt that talks about how each person is moderator and how they also are moderators on these other Discords as well. So they're just making the direct connections between these users and these users, their account names, and they moderate. Yeah, there was an attempt. A subreddit originally meant for fail content, which over 7 million members features its main banner, an anarchy target, and puts the Palestine flag up there. From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. Oh, Jesus Christ. They don't even fucking hide the political bias. I just always assumed that these were absolute NPCs. Like, you know how the Facebook has those memes of like, there's something going on, you can set your banner, your Facebook photo, and apply the little banner to it, where it's like a blue circle and it's got those words. I always thought those were just like things sheep did. I didn't realize they were connected. I just thought it was all a bunch of different schizophrenics hopping on the bandwagon, not realizing they're the ones steering the bandwagon, and it's more purposeful. They're not schizophrenic, they're doing it on purpose. That's fucking crazy. The sheer volume of posts that It Was a Tense obscures a steady tempo of anti-Israeli content. For some of the recent post caption of There Was an Attempt to Support Palestine. Let's see. To support Palestine. Fearless protester charges field waving Palestinian flag during the Super Bowl halftime show. There was an attempt to support Palestine. Top 1% poster too. Ooh. To the extent which other network-controlled subreddits are also obviously AstroTurf. It would be hilarious if the moderators weren't using them to distribute propaganda made by terrorists. True. If this was some shitter doing it to be a shitter, that'd be A-okay. But if it's people with ties to a propaganda terrorist network doing this to put propaganda terrorism, to put terrorist propaganda on your everyday life to try to fully get you to believe in the commitment to these causes, that's fucking crazy. That's brainwashing. I don't even know what to call that. What is that? That's like the movie Inception, planting the knowledge seed in your brain. That's kind of wild. You might not really care about it, but now you're seeing all this content showing Palestine's just fighting, Palestine's just free, they're just fighting for their lives, they did nothing wrong. You probably would start believing it too, not realizing that Palestine's done some fucked up shit as well. Where's your source for that? They've never done anything bad. I'm not going to dive into that in this video. I do not care to dive into that. The whole point of this is to show that there are actual propaganda coming straight from terrorists that are being shoved down your throat and you're sucking their dick clean, brother. Comment about that in the comments down below. One of the biggest non-relevant subreddits controlled by the network, and one at that, at 20 million members, is amongst one of the most popular subreddits on the sites, is R Documentaries. Co-moderated by blah, 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 is a subreddit dominated by the Palestinian network. Its members constituting 8 of the 14 non-bot moderators. Wow, they make up like over half. At a glance, our documentary content shows what it's supposed to. Links to documentaries, mainly on YouTube. Woven into these videos have a steady through line of anti-Israel and pro-Palestine propaganda on a cycle that separates them by mere days in some cases. No more than a single day. No other topic or theme on our documentaries receives this persistent and intense focus. Well, yeah, if the mods are purposely allowing this content to be upvoted and continually not dropping the low-quality content because it's the same theme, you're going to see it a lot more. When they don't like some right-wing documentary, I guarantee it's shot down immediately, but left-wing documentaries or pro-Palestinian documentaries, yeah, stay up. Yeah, this is why I don't like Reddit. You don't know if what you're seeing is actually someone's real opinion or if they're a bot with 1,000 upvotes that have been reposting this on every fucking website. That's why I don't like Reddit. I like Twitter way better. But apparently they also are trying to infect Twitter too, which Elon Musk has recently been saying the community notes have been getting gamed again. Be curious to see about that, see what he comes from that. That mainly is from the whole Apparently, Trump said Zelensky has a 4% approval rating in some recent interview because Trump's trying to get the war to end, and he thinks the only way to get to end is to give Putin what he wants. Because in the 3-4 years now that this war has gone on, you have billions of dollars wasted, millions dead, and now it doesn't seem to be coming to an end still. So I don't really know what the game plan is here for Zelensky. Biden did jack shit, left it to Trump's problem, and Trump's trying to get to end. And in one of Trump's many rants, he insulted Zelensky, saying he had a 4% approval rating, I believe is what he said. And then a bunch of the news try to come out and say, no, his approval rating's way better. Look at this. And I think the place that just did a poll to show his approval said it was like 57%. But that place was also one that has received funding from U.S. aid. So everyone's kind of like, well, are they trustworthy? Because if they're just an activist group doing activism, that just sounds like more activism. That's the issue here. I don't know his actual approval rating, but Elon Musk has been saying the community notes on these posts have been getting gamed. So kind of interesting to see. What's Zelensky's actual approval rating? I don't know. I know he's in a time of war right now, and I know in America, the Constitution allows the president in a time of war to maintain power till the war is finished. So I don't really see an issue with Zelensky doing that. I just want the fucking war to end and for people to stop dying. Whether or not Zelensky stays in power, I don't give a fuck. There seems to be so much corruption that's gone on with our money being sent over there. It's asinine to even continue supporting it. But who knows? I know everyone's got an opinion about that, and a lot of people are mad. I really don't think Trump saying that we should get that. I really don't agree with Trump and his opinion that, hey, you need to give us $500 billion of your rare earth metals in order for us to continue giving support. But that's because the administration is trying to make back money on the bad deal of Biden just giving blanket checks nonstop. Genuinely, what needs to happen here is the war needs to end. That's all I want to see, and I genuinely don't see how that war is going to end without Putin getting what he wants. So we'll be curious to see. Back to the actual thing. Examples include films like The Palestinian, which features Yasser Arafat asserting that the only solution to Israel is a liquidation of Israel. This is Gaza, which spotlights Palestinian suffering in the Strip and how ethnic cleansing created by Israel, holy redemption, stealing. Yeah, so it's just listing the videos. But it sounds like they want a one-stage solution where all the Jews are dead, is what this is getting at. Given the prominence of the Israel-Gaza in the news, you might think the content on our documentaries was organic, but that's not the case. One of the primary moderators of the Palestinian subreddit Discord server and multiple nodes, Brigade's upvotes for posts featuring, damn, upvote this. Yeah, so he's literally just telling people, hey, go upvote this right now. Yeah, it's the artificial, yeah, this is exactly, so Tim Walz and Kamala Harris got caught doing this during the presidential election. I forget what the post was, but it was getting community noted because I think it was the transgender thing where Kamala Harris said she supports transgender surgeries on immigrants held in detention. And she was telling people in the subreddit or in the Discord to go and downvote the community note, basically, get rid of the community note. Elon Musk saw it, and I think it basically every one of those people that were liking that community note got fucking purged from the list and their IP addresses blocked, which is fucking hilarious because it's people actually trying to gain community notes. They organize in a Discord and then tell them to go attack someone. Not really, that seems pretty straightforward. At that, the 6 subreddits recommended by our documentary are almost exclusively controlled by networks that also suggest blatant astroturfing and makes effectively our documentary a multi-funnel that sends users into even more tropical network subreddits. Yeah, this is fucking crazy. Yeah, so even they recommend going check out all these other subreddits that they have complete control of. Yeah, it makes sense. They're trying to funnel you into more of their pipeline to get more of the propaganda down your throat. You are not immune to propaganda. Generally, the pattern plays out across all the network subreddits with a massive membership funnel users to and supercharged growth of, a stepladder of even more extreme subreddits leading back to more of the group's core subreddits like R Palestine and R Israel Crimes and others. Blah is a key moderator who belongs in the R Palestine network and the first member of the network to join our documentaries in weeks after the October 7th in this case. Oh, you know it, blah, 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 joined 4 days later, and the other Palestinian networks joined in the subsequent weeks and months. The only moderators of our documentaries who are not members of the Palestinian networks joined between 2015 and 2016. Damn, they've been a long time into this then. Holy shit. Despite having nearly a decade less seniority in our documentaries than the previous existing moderators, Blah was made the subreddit's top mod, the first listed in the moderator sub panel. This gives him a raft of powers, including the ability to remove every other moderator from the subreddit. Yeah, the crazies have taken over the asylum. We're right back to the same fucking thing. The crazies have taken over the asylum. One mod gets the power trip, and then he appoints all of his knights to defend his honor. It's the same thing that happened with Lords of the Fallen, where the fucking CEO, the creator of the game, the director, got basically removed from the subreddit because they didn't like what he was saying with removing body type A and B and turning it to male or female. That shit was fucking crazy. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. It's happening everywhere. Yeah, I couldn't have guessed. If you're a reasonable, intelligent person, you should have already noticed this on Reddit. That's why fucking Reddit's crazy to even try to go on to have an actual conversation with someone, because you're dealing with a 40 IQ individual who thinks they have a 200 IQ and is just going to ban you when you disagree. Amongst the users, amongst them is a user blah. Wait. This network extends far beyond Reddit. Key members serve as litigators, connecting the network's activities on Reddit, X, Discord, and Quora. Yeah, so they're trying to rate as unhelpful. Rate as helpful. Wow. So this is what their gaming community notes on Reddit, on Twitter too. And I've seen that. I actually have seen that. I'm on part of the Twitter community notes team just because I'm curious to see what community notes are. When I'm looking at something, I want to see where the information comes from. And you will see this a lot, where there's random community notes in here that have nothing to do with it, but are very clear, politically motivated. They will do it quite commonly. And you'll see notes in there that say in, note not needed. Basically, yeah, this other note is batshit crazy. This should not be here. I don't know why this is here. This is very clearly biased. Get the fuck out of community notes. This is not what this is for. And it's very true. Rate as unhelpful. The picture has been left digitally altered to omit most of the October 7th committed by the no note needed. Oh, so they're trying to game it, saying that there is no note. You don't need a note here. So it looks like someone made a post of some propaganda and they try to put a note saying, hey, this has been altered. And then now they're trying to say no note needed. So they're even gaming it using the same language too. That's crazy. That is crazy. Yeah, this is propaganda. They've just uncovered a propaganda network that's probably now going to wipe all these moderators, create new counts, hand the power over to them, and keep rinsing hands so they can try to act like they're clean. Because that's, once you're exposed, that's all you can do. The network boosts its profile and activities on Reddit, promotes posts in addition to fundraising for him, seeing him as a valuable asset. Damn, he's even getting money off this shit too. The Palestine network is not only succeeding in rapidly growing, the pipeline operates in carrying propaganda from terror organizations to the open sea of the internet, and suggests that very little about the network is organic, and that it's an illusion of a groundswell of popular sentiment. Yeah, these are just random people thinking this, guys, that all happen to agree this is a bad thing, versus this is terrorist organization purposely upvoting and supporting this information. Anyone disagreeing or anyone with dissenting opinions is banned and silenced into the abyss. The truth about the networks doing the propaganda is designed to do influence people without them knowing. Exactly. That's what I was saying with the Inception seed earlier. Its success as a camouflage of networks is evidenced by the fact that Reddit continues to deny it as an issue. True, Reddit's not going to admit that they're putting terrorist propaganda down your throats, which is why I think now, like I saw earlier, FTC is actually going to start investigating Reddit. This violates Reddit's content policy. All I'm going to say is that if a walking, talking orange bag of puss is in my line of sights, I'm taking the shot. Yeah, I'm not surprised. Yeah. That's basically all that's happening on Reddit now. It's turning back to death threats on Trump. Since Trump got everything he wanted. He got RFK, he got Tulsi, he got Cash, he got the House, he got the Senate, he's got the Doge team. Trump's got everything he wants at this point. And Redditors have been fucking having a meltdown, basically, because the last thing was Kash Patel, and Kash Patel has now been confirmed as the FBI director. While there may be some top-down control somewhere much further up the food chain, the network successfully merges deliberate control into an ability to command existing networks. It's a symbolic approach that hijacks the democratic dynamics embedded in spaces. Yes, it turns a free speech platform into a censored speech platform, but it does not let the users know that their ideas of dissenting opinions are being downvoted out of existence or removed unless they themselves step out of line. And by the time you step out of line, you're banned, so you can't say anything. That's extremely common. Extremely common. This is a pretty good article, though. Yeah, I'm gonna put the article in the I'm gonna put the article in the video. I know I'm saying this like an hour in, but if you want to read it yourself, feel free. If you notice anything I missed here, but this was a pretty good fucking article talking about how bad Reddit is in general. I'm sure this is happening with different organizations as well, whether it be leftists or more Marxist groups that aren't connected specifically with Palestine, but probably overlap greatly and are doing the same thing with other subreddits. What you see on Reddit isn't organic. You have a lot of people who are willing to put a lot of time and effort forward to control the people who use this website greatly. It's like if you looked at the election before the election actually happened in America. If you got on TikTok, everyone was saying Kamala wins by a landslide, Trump's going to jail. You got on Reddit, Kamala wins by a landslide, Trump's going to jail. You got on Twitter, it was more 50-50 with Trump on the plus side, but that could have been Elon boosting the algorithm in his favor. I truly believe that there's a lot of propaganda going on in America, and it's more of a psyop to try to get you to not vote because you think you're the minority, when reality is the real minority is the ones being the loudest and lying online. Once Elon took over Twitter and a bunch of bots got immediately deplatformed, a bunch of extreme leftists got their likes nuked when they make posts, that's when I realized, yeah, this leftist sentiment has been a complete sham. It's been bot farms, and it's been run by people who are a part of the bot farms or part of the problem. The crazies no longer had control of Reddit, but they still have control. The crazies no longer have control of Twitter, but they still have control of Reddit and TikTok, it looks like. I didn't even know Quora was part of it, too. Them throwing Quora in there kind of threw me for a loop, but I guess it's an information platform where people can ask questions. So if you're asking anything about the Israel-Palestine conflict, they're probably going to give it a Palestinian twist. But still, that is kind of crazy to see. I think it's interesting that someone was able to connect the dots pretty well here. There's some pretty good journalism from PirateWire, and I believe that this is probably going to cause some people to delete their accounts, but they'll still wash the same hands. But I guess that's the easiest way to figure out who these people are, especially if you know the Telegram chats where these terrorist groups are originating from. Even if they delete their account, wait to see the next user that posts something directly from the Telegram that then is reposted everywhere online. It gives you a good idea of who these people are and where they're coming from. They'll probably keep doing this too to try to make themselves clean, but obviously if they're logging into Reddit, they've got an IP address, so it's only a matter of time till the FBI cracks down on it. And I think with Kash Patel now leading the FBI, all these threats that you're seeing all over Twitter, all these threats that you're seeing all over Reddit about killing Donald Trump, killing Elon Musk and the Doge team, I feel like the FBI is actually going to be directed, hey, figure out who the fuck these people are, because if they're not foreign, they're going to jail. Thank you guys very much for tuning in. If you like the video, feel free to like it, comment down below, or subscribe to my channel. I've been doing a lot more long-form content, and I want to go through this article because this was a big one, and I actually do think this was a good article. So let me know what you guys think. I'll see you in the next one. Until then, later.